Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Taboka. Welcome back for those who are actually back. For you who's here for the first time, welcome to the family, welcome to the channel. And I'm glad to have you here for whatever reasons you're here. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you get the chance to watch others, I hope you enjoy them too. Okay. So as you can see in the title of this video, I'm talking about the changes that I made in 2021. I have listed 8 changes that I made to my life. Some intentionally, some really just happened. And after a while, I noticed that I've stopped doing things a certain way and realized that I'm doing things a different way now. So, okay, so reason for the video, I hope you can make those changes in your life if you like any of them and think they're beneficial or they're positive changes that you would like to incorporate in your new year. You have the chance of getting to do them as you begin the new year. Well done for getting to the end of the year. Thank God for it. We did not ask to get this far, but He allowed us to get to the end of 2021. Let me get started. Okay, so one of the things that I did was cut down on my social media time. I know I could say now I can say I was totally addicted to it, scrolling on Facebook, posting on Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. So I put a limit. One of the things I did, because I knew I just couldn't keep away, for 1 month, I deactivated my account because I couldn't keep away from it. The pull. Please comment below if you have that pull that just pulls you back to your Facebook or social media and you just can't keep away. There are people who are like so disciplined, they can keep away from their social media, like they wouldn't be bothered. But yeah, it was that bad that I could not keep away from it. So I had to deactivate my account, and I did that for a little longer than a month until, what reason did I activate it? I needed to search for something on Facebook that I could only find on Facebook, like some business or something. So I reactivated it, and that's how I had it back. But when I got it back, I put a limit on it. So I have a 10-minute limit on my Facebook. So I can only be on Facebook for 10 minutes per day. And that's been fine. I've had days when I don't even get the notification that I've spent 10 minutes on Facebook. The only bad side of it is you can snooze it, so you can get more than 10 minutes. But it's really, really rare, unless I'm doing business on it and have to keep checking if I have some messages from customers or if I have some updates. I really won't spend that 10 minutes on it even. So that's been awesome because it became a part of life that you literally depend on it, and you want to spend every single day scrolling and checking what's going on. And I've used that time for other things. So 10 minutes on Facebook, 15 minutes on my Instagram, cut down on my social media time. I'm so proud of myself. I'm at the end of the year and I don't feel like I'm dependent on social media anymore. And that's been really nice. So if you want to try that in the new year, and if it's a problem for you, then you can try it out and you'll see the results. If it's not a problem for you, then really there's no need. Number 2, I decided to start working out. So I'm saying decided to start working out because I made the intentional decision to work out. I was not consistent with it and I did not continue. And I'm not going to beat myself up. What's that say? I want to beat myself up about it? Yes, I would not beat myself up about it. I would not bother myself or feel bad about it. I did not continue working out. I did it consistently for a week or 2, every single day, every single morning, but I stopped. But the fact that I did make the decision to start is a big thing. So hopefully in the new year, I can, God willing, I can be a bit more consistent with that. And that's just working out from home. I did the gym 7 years ago and I was really consistent with it and I really loved it. I had a proper program of the gym every single morning, but at this point in my life, I don't think I can do the gym. So home workouts it is for me then. Okay, so another thing that I did this year, 2021, is I read more books. So hardcover books. I was more consistent with my Kindle and Audible. So I had audiobooks, which I would listen to when I'm busy, and I would have my Kindle every time I go somewhere. That's another thing that came out of me cutting down social media. The time I would spend scrolling on social media, I was now spending reading books. So I really enjoy that. Okay, another one is I became, how do I phrase this one? A minimalist? Not really became, I just, well, yeah. So I did a lot of decluttering. So physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. I decluttered things in my life. So got rid of clothes, belongings, assets, friends, files on the computer, software, blah, blah, blah. So decluttering everything in life. So that's where social media came in. It was one of the things that I needed to get out of the way. So whatever I could get out of the way, I got out of the way so it can be a little bit clearer. I can see myself a little better because there's not so many things all over me. So yeah, I started doing a lot of minimalistic things. Reduced my wardrobe from about 100% to could be 30% of what I had at the beginning of the year. I might have 30% of that now. And that's been awesome. I don't miss any of those clothes. It's a process, and it still is. Okay, so I also started developing myself a little bit more. So reading the books was one of it. I started an online course, different online courses, and just started intentionally trying to develop myself. So in whatever aspect you can think of. So basically just, develop myself. I can't put more detail to it. So studying more, getting an education, formally or informally, just trying to absorb as much goodness as I can. Okay, so another thing that I did was become more intentional with what I will and will not do. Who I will and will not be friends with, who I will and will not speak to, how I will and will not do things. So everything that you can think of related to that. So where I will go, where I will not go, if I am not comfortable or I feel like this place will compromise with my beliefs, I will not go there. So who I will and will not be friends with, who I will and will not associate with. So I stopped making things just happen. Just find yourself with someone or find yourself in friendships that you do not plan to be in. So I was intentional about who is just a workmate, who is an actual friend, who is just a client, business client, who is an actual friend, who is just a friend of a friend, and who is actually a friend, who is just a person that I've met and someone who's worth getting to know my life. Who am I going to sit down in my living room with, and who will I just speak to on the phone? So intentional about that. Don't just let things be because they just happen. No. So if we're friends, we're friends. If we're not friends, we're not friends. And that's okay. If we're workmates and it ends at work, that's okay. We're workmates and we are good work friends. We are good workmates. Things like what I would wear. So I wouldn't just walk into a shop or wherever I buy clothes from, online or whatever it is, wherever it is, and just pick things because, without thinking about it, just because. Really, there is a reason, just because it's there in front of you. Maybe it's got a good price, maybe it's on discount, maybe you've seen it with someone else, maybe. So I became more intentional with what I'm wearing, what I will wear, what I won't wear, what colors I will wear, what colors I won't wear. That couples with my minimalism. So such things. So that has been very helpful. And yeah, if you don't want to do something, don't do it. And all of those things. So I just became very, very intentional in what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. If I don't find a good why for doing something, I just won't do it. I won't pretend and act like I actually want to when I don't. So I am rambling too much. So I'll end there on that point. Another thing is journaling. So I journal more. I'm using my journal right now to read my notes. I think I did the most journaling that I've done in years this year. So journaling has always been a good thing for me. I've done it all my life. I have journals from childhood. So it's something I've grown up doing. And it's been very, very helpful. It's been very, very therapeutic. It's something that I would encourage, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been my time with God to speak to Him, which leads me to my next point, which is I focus more on God. So when I would journal, I would write like I'm writing, having a conversation with God. God, this happened, blah, 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 blah. So He became my buddy. So the most important one, before I get to God, because that's the most important one, I usually save the best for last. I became content in myself. Yeah, so I started to love myself more. As God's child, let's not take this being self-love, don't love anyone else, you're more important than everyone else. No, this is not what I'm saying. But love myself as a human being that has been created by God, as somebody's daughter, as somebody's sister, as somebody's aunt, as somebody's niece, as somebody's granddaughter, as somebody's as a being created by God. I am important. God brought me on this earth for a reason, and I'm not just here to be shopped around and treated like trash. I am here for a purpose. I was created for a purpose, and I matter. God says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you matter. He loves us. He loves me. He loves us. He loves you. So there is no need to think of yourself as trash or as nothing. God has a purpose for each and every one of us, and we need to realize that we're here for a reason. So we need to find our place in God's kingdom, find our place on this earth as God's child. So I realize that I have a purpose on this earth, and I will try to live according to what God has brought me on this life to do, and not just sulk about life and complain about this, complain about that, but dig in and dive into those positives that you have and try and figure out how God can use that. So it's been really nice. So instead of finding identity in likes on social media, in comments on posts, in compliments, in friendships, in invitations, in visitations, in relationships, in all these things that come around our life, you find that contentment in God, find that contentment within yourself. And that's been really nice, because then without the social media, without the likes, without the comments, without the friendships, without all those distractive things, you're still happy. You're still enough. You know that you are enough. You don't need that friend or that person or this person to make you feel like you're enough. You're enough. Just you and God, you're enough. So not to say friendships are not important and people are not important. They're totally important. Relationships are absolutely important, but we do not find our identity in those things. We find our identity in Christ. So, which now will lead me to the last point. I focus more on God. So when your eyes are, then you won't see anything else because you're upward facing. Colossians says, if you've been risen with Christ, seek those things which are above and not on this earth. So when you're looking up, you're not looking down. Nothing that happens down here is going to bother you because your attention is on things above. And that's been really nice. It's been really awesome. As terrible as the world is, as hard as it is down here with all these things going on and so much negativity, so much sinfulness, so many things that are happening and things that are changing. Oh my goodness, it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. You look at the news every single day. There's just so many things going on. Negative, 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 negative. That peace and quiet that comes from God is very, very calming. So focusing on God has been very helpful, and it has gotten me through the toughest years ever. And yeah, that's been really helpful. So if that's something you'd like, if you'd like some peace and quiet in your life, try and focus on God and see how that works out. See how, there's light coming in and it was on my glasses and I didn't like it. Now I can't even see. So I will still have to wear them. Okay, so try and see whether focusing, this is not even the question. Focusing on God will definitely make your life better. So don't try and see if focusing on God will make your life better. See if you can try and do that in the new year. Focus on God more and seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. And everything else will fall into place. That doesn't say your life will be fine and dandy. No, trials and temptations and all those things are going to come. But at the end of the day, you know that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So in the end, it all works out. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, God willing.